Have you thought about what you'd do if it was to rain during your outdoor ceremony, or how you'll keep your guests comfortable during a surprise heat wave? From rain-soaked vows to chilly fall evenings, we'll talk about avoiding regrets and making the most of whatever Mother Nature throws your way. Thanks for joining us. Hi, I'm Sal from After Hours Events in New England. We'll answer these questions and more in today's edition of the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast.
Welcome to another edition of our podcast. Hi, I'm Sam from Atmosphere Productions. Listen now and discover mastering weather challenges for your perfect wedding. These are Wedding Insider Secrets for a stress-free, fun, and memorable day. Our podcast helps engaged couples navigate wedding planning complexities while addressing family expectations. We'll guide you through the journey of creating the perfect wedding day without unnecessary stress. By the end of this edition, you'll get concise tips on budgeting, wedding party management, ceremony, reception planning, and more. Perfect for anyone planning a wedding, all in 30 minutes or less. Trust us, you don't want to miss it.
Welcome to Stress-Free Wedding Planning, the podcast that will transform your wedding planning journey from chaotic to enchanting. Sal and Sam bring over 80 years of combined wedding expertise and exclusive insider information to the table. If you're recently engaged, feeling the pressure of wedding planning, struggling with family expectations, but still dreaming of a joy-filled wedding, you've come to the right place. Get ready to unveil the best-kept wedding secrets, discover practical tips and strategies, and learn life-changing lessons for a stress-free wedding. Your unforgettable wedding day awaits. We're here to take you on a transformative journey of love, laughter, and memories. So don't miss out on the podcast that just might change your life. This is the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam.
On today's podcast, Rain or Shine, Mastering Weather Challenges for Your Perfect Wedding. Today, we're tackling something no couple can control, but every couple worries about: the weather. Let's make sure your wedding day stays picture perfect, rain or shine. Hi, I'm Sal from After Hours Events of New England, your go-to experts for creating stress-free and unforgettable weddings. From DJ services and wedding officiating to photo booths and lighting, our team brings energy, professionalism, and a passion for making your big day truly special. Whatever your vision, we're here to make it happen. Visit us at afterhoursevents.com. Learn more about our experience and journey to help you with stress-free wedding planning in the trailer or pilot of this podcast.
The weather is probably the most important aspect of the wedding that you can't plan or have any control. You'll need a plan B, and you'll probably need a plan C. Hi, I'm Sam from the award-winning Atmosphere Productions, wedding entertainment with expert knowledge and the difference in quality. Visit us at atmosphere-productions.com. Today's edition is all about mastering those weather challenges for your perfect wedding day. Rain or shine, we're going to give you some great tips on what to do. Just a reminder, you can also join us on our YouTube channel. Just search for Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam. Subscribe and get it first.
Sam, there's many mistakes that have been made in the past, and there's so many regrets for not doing certain things. And one of those things is failing to check the historic weather trends of that chosen wedding date. You want to check what happened last year, the year before, maybe even the year before that, to kind of get a good feel to see if there's a trend for that particular date so you are prepared.
That is one of the most common weather-related regrets that we see when we are planning weddings with our couples. Hey, what happened last year? It really is as simple as that, because the historical perspective will definitely give you a shot, at least, of what's going to happen so you can make a plan B or C. And speaking of that, not having a backup plan in case of rain or extreme heat. A lot of couples forget outdoor weddings can get really, really hot in July. And if you don't have something to plan for that, you can run into trouble. I know you've experienced this, Sal, because you and I love outdoor weddings.
Oh, yeah. I've even experienced snow. So you definitely want to prepare kind of for anything. We're coming from New England, so anything can happen at any time, right? Another thing is ceremonies and receptions without a cover, doing it outside under the elements. That's not a good idea. You always would like to have a plan where it all could be covered. And tents are something you need to get provided early. So you want to make that plan to have a tent and to make sure if any type of bad weather happens. And another important thing is not just a tent, but the side flaps. That could be very, very important.
Now, we have to mention edition 132, Wedding Attire Regrets, because that is another common weather-related regret that we have come across. Guests or the bride and groom or the couple picking the wrong dresses or outfits or shoes for your particular wedding location. I mean, if it's going to be rainy and your location is going to be muddy a couple of days before, change out those shoes. Make sure you don't have open-toe shoes if there's going to be a muddy location. Or if it's a rocky terrain, don't have high heels for the ladies. Those are these little things that come up that will ruin your day. So go back, edition 132, Wedding Attire Regrets.
Wedding couples sometimes don't think about how weather might affect their guest. And so they ignore these things and just bad things happen. You want to have your guests to be comfortable. So are you in a shaded area, where people are not getting this total glare? Keep in mind your older guests too. They can't usually handle glare very well. Is there heaters? If it's getting too, cold out there, you want to make sure everyone feels comfortable so they're not leaving early on you. So something to do. And fans, have to have a fan if it's hot out there, or if you have a tent that's totally enclosed and you can have air conditioning, that's even better. But make plans ahead of time. Don't ignore these things, because chances are if you ignore them, it's going to happen and you're just not going to be comfortable along with your guest.
Now, we're in New England, so, weather can change on a dime. But if you're in a warmer climate, remember that the heat as well can make a difference. You may get an extremely colder night than you expected. Hopefully, you can avoid some of these weather-related wedding regrets.
I had a couple that had their wedding where the dinner section was going to happen inside, but cocktail and dancing was going to happen outside. And they weren't going to have a tent. That was the original plan, no tent. But because they did keep an eye out on the weather, it was being said it was going to rain that night, and that could be a real problem. They called a tent company immediately. They already had a plan with a tent company. So if the rain was going to be coming, they would have a tent reserved. So they had to pay a little to make that happen ahead of time, because you can't just expect a tent company to hold something for you for free. But it was the best thing they could have done by having that planned out, so that the tent company came out a few days before and put everything up, and everything ran nice and smoothly and perfect. Choosing the right venue can actually help you weatherproof your big day. It either be indoor, outdoor hybrids, or venues with tenting options. You want different options that you could go to. Again, Sam keeps saying this, and I can't agree with him more. You can't just have a plan B. You have to have a plan C, just in case. So renting tents, having umbrellas, having heaters, having fans, whatever the conditions may be, you want to be ready for that so that nothing is ruining your day. Hey, how about the couple having custom boots? So if it does rain and it's going to be a lot of water on the ground, it just looks cool for pictures afterwards. And you have things totally personalized. It's a beautiful thing. It makes a bad situation turns into a good situation. And sometimes you have to readjust your ceremony. I've had the situation where the ceremony is supposed to be at 5:00. Guests are early right now, which is great. And if we wait till 5, it's going to rain out there and we don't have cover. So if we start 20 minutes earlier, we can make it. And that's what we've done. We've started earlier and made things happen, or starting later because the weather app said it's going to stop after 15 minutes. These are things you want to pay attention to. In good facilities and good facility wedding managers are always looking at these apps to make everything work best for you.
That's a pro tip that we're just going to throw in there, Sal. Make sure you get a weather app so you can track the weather on your wedding day, especially if you're having an outdoor ceremony or some of your event is going to be outdoor. These apps now, even if you have to pay a few cents to have it for a month or whatever, these apps are so accurate now at predicting when the weather is coming, especially if this can be cloudy or rainy or, God forbid, snow. We've just explained some weather-related regrets and how to weatherproof your big day.
Coming up next, working with vendors in bad weather, using weather to create unforgettable moments, and helping couples with our expertise. But first, if you have a question or concern, go now to Facebook and join us on the stress-free wedding planning community and ask away. You can also join us on our YouTube channel. Just search for Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam. Subscribe and get it first.
This is the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam, a podcast for engaged couples concerned about wedding planning and family expectations, but who want a stress-free, fun, and unforgettable wedding.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is available on the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Facebook group page every Wednesday. Join the group for free.
It's now time for Wedding Tip Wednesday. On today's Wedding Tip Wednesday, after the first look. Now, here's something that's really interesting, and it's trending big time. Use the art of the written word to express feelings to each other. The first look happens before the ceremony. It's the time where the couple gets the first chance to see each other, and usually we have a surprise photo. So now what happens after the first look?
Well, a really cool trend now is instead of reading vows to each other or reading something nice to each other during the actual ceremony, you do it before, just after the first look. It's a very intimate moment. It is so sweet and so cool. And you just do regular vows when you do the ceremony. So no big deal. It's a lot of fun. So after the picture taking is over, read those special written messages to each other. This is a perfect way to cap off the first look.
And that's another wedding tip from Sal and Sam.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is available on the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Facebook group page every Wednesday. Join the group for free.
Experience the magic of your special day with Fitzner Productions, a premier wedding videography company based in Middletown, Connecticut. FitznerProductions.com. Our mission is to capture your love story candidly and authentically, creating stunning, high-quality videos that you can cherish for years to come. Our founder, Carson Fitzner, combines technical expertise with a passion of storytelling, ensuring every moment from the excitement of getting ready to the heartfelt ceremony is beautifully documented. We offer a range of customizable packages, including drone footage and multi-location shoots, tailored to fit your unique vision. Let us help you relive the romance, laughter, and tears of your wedding day. Visit FitznerProductions.com. That's FITZNER Productions.com.
Welcome back to our discussion about mastering weather challenges for your perfect wedding. I'm Sam from Atmosphere Productions.
And I'm Sal from After Hours Events New England. We explored some common weather-related disappointments, shared stories of couples who came prepared, and discussed tips for weatherproofing your big day. Now, working with vendors in bad weather. You know, DJs, we have to adapt sometimes. Bad weather happens. You can't have the ceremony outside. You have to go inside. The photographer can't sometimes get those outside shots due to snow or rain. You have to adapt and go inside and get some great shots. And the caterer helping you in adapting in all this to make this run very smoothly so it looks like it was all planned to start with.
Yeah, you've got your florists as well that have to adapt to the weather conditions, your decor people as well. Everybody that's concerned with making your wedding reception look perfect, they are affected by this impending bad weather. And that's where plan B and C come into effect. All of you vendors need to be on the same page as to what plan we are working on if something happens. Are you going to continue to be outside, which nobody recommends in bad weather, or is going to be inside? If you're going to be inside, which room are you going to be in? Are you going to be in the same room that the cocktail hour is? These things snowball. So you change one plan, you go to plan C, it changes plan D. It starts to get really complicated, but you must do it. Have these plans put together. Now, you can also use the weather to your advantage. Many, many times I've seen when it rains, photographers have used umbrellas to add to that scene. Or dancing in the rain, or in the summer, the bride is walking on the beach with her dress, or the groom or grooms are doing something in the sand because it's nice and hot. They've taken their shoes off. So using the weather can really create those unforgettable moments, but you have to be cognizant on, what the weather is in order to do something unforgettable.
Now, you want to also, use resources that can help you with your wedding. And we kind of mentioned this a little earlier, and that is weather apps. Getting a weather app and having a good idea what could happen on your day so you are prepared for that day. As I mentioned earlier, also good wedding managers at these facilities typically are on these apps too and keeping an eye for minute by minute. So if any changes need to be made, they can be made in an instance and make things flow as well as possible. So, we talked about the apps, but you have to do other things. Have a checklist for weatherproofing your wedding. You want to have a game plan on how you're going to do this. So it's good to have a physical list that's been made up on how to make this happen and make sure all your professionals have this so they're part of that plan and understand what needs to be done.
All good information there, Sal. These resources that help couples to prepare are very, very important.
Here's another example of what our company has done to help out in things. So I personally always have a white pop-up tent with me. And we use it even if it's sunny out because the sun's beating on our computer or speaker. It's not good for it. So you want it to block out. I had a couple where it was kind of drizzling and it was just a little too hard to kind of have the equipment out there because, it's not good for our computers and our speaker. But by having that tent out there, these two definitely wanted to have this ceremony happen no matter what. They refused to go inside. We're all going to stay out here together and we're going to make this happen. And because of having something like this little pop-up tent, it allowed us to be out there and make this happen for them and make them both very happy people for it.
One of the solutions that we use with our company is for couples that want to have everything one and done in one location. So that is the ceremony, cocktail hour, and dinner and dancing all in one location. We have our ceremony musicians. Now, this is something that we use to kind of offset any weather-related problems. Typically, the musicians do not need electricity to set up, just their instruments. As long as the weather is over 50 degrees and there's no rain, then the musicians can play outside. So on one occasion, we were watching the weather actually come towards where the venue was, and the ceremony was about to start. And instead of having to move everything inside, the bride said, I don't mind getting a little wet. Let's just get some umbrellas. So that's what we did. We held umbrellas above the musicians so that they were covered and they could actually play for the ceremony. Now, obviously, not everybody's going to have musicians for the ceremony, but if you have stringed musicians, violins, violas, this is a great way they can move into an area that's covered and you can still be outside and you can still do it whatever the weather. The flip side of that is it can get a little hot. So the musicians need to be in the shade, but you can still be outside and have your great wedding ceremony outside, even if the weather is a little too hot, but you want to have that scenery behind you to do the ceremony. So we're always adapting either our DJ setups or we can arrange the timeline so that these weather-related regrets, challenges don't ruin the entire day.
So there you have it. We've just provided some insider tips on how to master weather challenges for your perfect wedding. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast as we tackle the unpredictable challenge of weather on your big day. Remember, a little preparation can turn a rainy ceremony or a sweltering reception into a memorable experience for all the right reasons. Whether it's having a backup plan, making guests comfortable, or even embracing the unexpected, your wedding can shine no matter the forecast. And if you need a partner to help make your day stress-free and unforgettable, find out more, ask a question, or tell us about your experience in our Facebook community.
Now, as you spend the next week planning your wedding, if you want me, Sal, or our community of stress-free engaged couples and wedding experts to answer any wedding-related questions, then join us in the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Facebook group.
Once you're in, go ahead and share your concerns and worries, and we'll let you know if you're on the right track or if there are some things you need to work on. The link to join us is in the show notes of this edition, or go to Facebook and search for the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Community.
Remember to do something nice for someone today. And if you can't, then do something nice for yourself. If you've enjoyed what you've just heard, leave a review and share it with a friend or someone who would benefit from this information. Until next time, it's TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Thank you for listening to this edition. A new edition is released every Wednesday. Subscribe and get it first. We'll catch you then. Ciao.
The Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast is produced and copyrighted by Atmosphere Productions in association with After Hours Events of New England.